This video is how to draw a 7-stepped value scale. I'm going to take my inch side of my ruler and I'm going to draw a line that's 7 inches. I'm going to make this into a rectangle. This is 1 inch, so I just took my ruler and made a 1-inch line. I'm going to slide it over and do the same thing over here. And then I'm going to connect those two ends to make a rectangle. Now I'm going to divide this into 7 equal sections. I'm going to place my ruler again on the edge and I'm going to make a mark every inch. Now I'm going to take my ruler and draw a line where I made a mark, dividing my rectangle into 7 equal sections. Alright, so your 1 is always your lightest, so that's your pure white. And your 7 is always your darkest, so that's your pure black. So I usually start shading in the center where the 4 is. Now one thing I want to note is how I'm holding my pencil. Most of the time whenever we're writing, we hold down here so we have the most control. Here we're going to be shading using the side of our pencil, and we need to be able to shade using the side and also have less pressure. So I'm going to hold my pencil at the end. So I'm going to start by just putting a medium shade down. Now it's really hard to gauge what a medium shade is. A dot came because there was something under my paper. That's eraser marks. That's okay, I'll keep it there. Alright, so this is a medium gray. It's hard to gauge what a medium gray is, and we may have to adjust it later. But something that's kind of in between. It's not super light, it's not super dark, just kind of medium. Now I'm going to start going towards my lighter shades first. So my 3 needs to be noticeably lighter than my 4, but not in a huge amount. So it needs to look different, but it just should be slightly, just slightly lighter. So I'm going to start with something like that. Now if you shade outside the boxes, that's okay. My 2 is a gray that's 1 step to nothing. So whenever I do my 2, it's like I'm barely even putting any pressure. I'm just dragging my pencil over the paper. So it's just the lightest shade. Alright, so there should be a difference between each one of these values. It may be slight, but there should be a difference. If there's not, then you need to add a layer to making them seem a little bit different. Alright, so my next one is my 5, 6, and 7s. So this is the side where we're going darker. So when I start my 5, I typically put a layer down that equals my 4. And then I'll go back and I'll add another layer. So it's slightly darker. Again, I'm trying to get an even tone in that box. So there's a slight jump. Now my next one is going to be a slight jump even more. So I'm going to put down a tone that matches my 5 or close to it. And then I'm going to add another layer. When I add that second layer, I'm pressing just a little bit harder. My last one is my 7s. Now I may have to adjust my grip on this one. I was here, now I may have to adjust and lower it a little bit because I need to push my pencil to the max. So my 7 is supposed to be pure black. It's the darkest I can get my pencil to go. And so I shouldn't see any paper through it. It should be completely dark and filled with lead. So my grip has to change in order to get that pressure that I need. So after I finish this, I need to look at it and reflect. Do I have smooth transitions going from each one, or is there a huge jump? Or do I have some that look exactly the same? If so, I need to adjust. I do feel like there's quite a big jump between my 6 and my 7, so I'm going to darken up my 6 a little bit, and then I may need to adjust. How does that transition look? Not too bad. Maybe darken it up a little bit. So I'm just adjusting things slightly so they seem to transition smoothly from one box to another. And that is the value scale.